and Anu. So, chapter 1, titled Into the New Lands. Oluwadarasimi Peace Adebanjo, the 25th of December, 1997. Thank you. Dara responded as she passed her passport to the immigration officer. Wow, what an edifice, she thought as she walked towards the terminal exit. Chapter 1, Into the New Lands. Even though it was not Dara's first time away from Nigeria, it was her first time living in a different country away from her parents. Dara soon got on the bus and it was time for her second selfie. Dara thought she would have taken hundreds of selfies by the time she got to Liverpool. The photography started well, and soon enough, Dara was distracted with her check-in at the airport, as well as staying vigilant at the airport. Now, Dara was not ready to lose her box or clothing items. Neither was she to lose her other box, filled with toiletries and other personal effects. Now, Dara's mom dropped her off at Muritala Mohammed International Airport, and it was time for them to say their goodbyes. Dara's mom might hold back her tears until she got into her luxury jeep. Remember, the daughter of who you are. Remember to always be careful. Be vigilant. Treat others as you would love to be treated. And above all, keep God close. Dara's mom had spoken. She was a woman of few words. Thank you very much, Mom. I love you and promise to always make you proud. Dara replied with tears rolling down both cheeks. Dara soon felt better. A few minutes later, she was distracted. It was an eventful wait at the international airport where Dara arrived 2 hours earlier before her flight. Mommy always made sure that they always arrived at the airport in ample time to avoid missed flights. Now, Dara's dad had just sent a message to Dara. He was away on an international business trip to China, so he was missed at the airport. Dara's dad, Mr. Philip Adebanjo, he worked for a major telecommunication company in Nigeria. He took his job seriously and had very good reference. Dara could not help but notice other passengers and airport staff. A major argument had ensued between two guys. The argument was based on who should get the first turn. Both guys claimed to have arrived at the spot at the same time. Dara was on the same queue with the other guys, but she was a few feet away. Once Dara checked in her bags and got her boarding pass, she put a call through to her family, let them know she had already boarded. I already miss you and I am happy to be pursuing my dreams. Dara's mom replied, I thought you will make us proud, and I know you would make us proud. Once Dara's dad was added to the call, it became an instant family reunion, even though Dara was still in Lagos. Her baby sister had just the final project from a private university, hence why she could not accompany Dara to the airport. Once Dara was finished with the calls to her parents, she made her way towards security and checks. Dara pulled her luggage while her laptop bag contained her laptop, phones, petty card, passports, and other important documents. Sister Dara, the voice sounded familiar, but Dara hated to be called sister. No family members or friends ever called her that. Dara was amused and she turned around to see the mischievous fellow that could have called her sister. It was her sister, Anu. Anu was younger than Dara, and she had achieved a lot at only 24 years of age. Anu was also scheduled to join Dara in the United Kingdom. She had just gotten a full scholarship based on her academics and outstanding performance. Dara was so happy to see her sister. Both were excited and they behaved like they've not seen each other for over a year. Meanwhile, they were together earlier in the day. Shortly before Dara and Anu, her project defense, they chatted and laughed so loud, every other passenger gave them mean looks. They did not care as they chatted away. The girls giggled, laughed, and gossiped. And finally, it was time to say goodbye. I forgot to pack my protein shakes. Would you be so kind to take them along when you're coming? You can afford to buy new ones, sister. After all, you are very rich. Dara replied and bid her sister goodbye. Once Dara had a new flat, she immediately phones Anu on video call. After all, it was going to be Anu's new home for the next 12 months as well. Dara really wanted to do a good job, convincing Anu to join her in the UK. Anu had received 4 other fully funded master scholarships from other institutions. She was only contemplating to move to Liverpool because of Dara. I know you are trying to tempt me. I am not looking. Anu teased Dara. She knew Dara was just up to influencing her decision. The next morning, Dara made her way to the post office, where she picked up her residence permit. Once she picked up her passport, it was time to explore her needs. With the aid of Google Maps, Dara explored 2 major shopping malls, a fast food spot, and an African store. The day was almost over and it was time to go home. Dara got on the bus where she purchased her ticket and quietly at the foremost seat on the top deck of the bus. So, I am finally here. I can't even believe me just now. Dara kept an eye on her Google Maps so she did not miss her bus. Dara tried on the one bought earlier in the day. She bought some clothes from Primark. Anu did not that so much with calling her sister that night. Dara had put a call through to her family at 7 at night. Her dad had just returned from and he was hanging out with their mom at Echo International Hotel. Their parents never joked with any opportunity to have fun. They all chatted and laughed over the conference call, and it was time to say goodbye again. Anu continued chatting until they were both exhausted. Dara fell asleep over the phone before Anu ended the calls. Mame from Ghana, Philip Simmons from Ghana, Anne-Marie Devon, Genesis from Nigeria, Hussein from Nigeria, Miles Rodrigo from South Africa. The students took turns to introduce themselves as directed by the lecturer. And once it was Dara's turn to introduce herself, she said, "My name is Oluwadarasimi Peace Adebanjo. I am a Nigerian." Other students also took turns to introduce themselves. When class began, Dara noticed that some of the students called the lecturer by their name, David. She did not want to do this because she rather held her peace. So instead of participating, Dara decided to listen and nod her head because she didn't want to call her lecturer his first name, David. At the end of the first class, Dara had made 2 new friends. She was pleased with this. Dara had attempted to reach her sister over the phone, great news to share with her sister. She was on break with her new friends. She had some hot chocolate with tomatoes and cheese toasty. It was her first time that she had this and it was so perfect. Dara comes to stick tomatoes and cheese toasty for lunch every day in school. Dara and her new friends returned to the lecture room. A few minutes early in time for the next lecture, Dara soon excuses herself and takes a stroll around. Calls Anu, and it was for the latest update and juiciest gossips. Guess what Anu said, all excited? Before Anu could put in one word, Anu interjected, "He proposed, he proposed." And Dara said, "Who proposed?" Dara was in a confused manner. And Anu was, "Femi, of course, sister. How many men do I keep?" So, Dara was surprised by this news as Anu and Femi had only been together for 7 months. Wow, congratulations, babes. I am so happy for you. Dara felicitated with her sister and it was time for her next class. Anu suddenly feels that Dara was not excited about her good news. "All right, sister, speak to you later." Anu was less excited and she thought Dara was a killjoy. The next class had begun and Dara could not concentrate in class. All she was thinking about was her sister. Dara always had bad luck with men. Anu could not help but think that Dara was just about her engagement. So, Dara also did not think Anu was thinking less of her. She genuinely loves her sister and she was best for her sister. And her sister said, "What's best for me? What's best for me? How do you get to decide and choose what's best for me?" Anu fired at Dara. When both girls decided to speak later that night, Dara explained her fears and views to Anu. She said she doesn't want her sister settling down with someone she barely knew. Now, Anu and Femi met at a birthday party, which Dara invited Anu to. Femi had always had a thing for Dara since their early years at the prestigious University of Jos, where Dara studied for her first degree in English and Linguistics. Femi was the course leader for 3 consecutive years. She respectfully resigned the call to be the course representative one more time to focus on her final year. After numerous attempts to get Dara's attention, Femi gave up the chase, but the stories of his escapades were common news among his former classmates. When the ladies got to the party venue, Dara could not help but notice a very loud bloke by the corner. He was being hyped by his hype man. He lost all his home training at that point. Not like he had any home training in the first place. So way into the party, everyone started to loosen up and the sisters were having loads of fun. Anu and Dara Irish cream, and it was what they always drank. What a lot to drink that night. No doubt, Anu was the belle of the night. She managed to grab the attention of almost everyone at the party. A lot of guys wanted her number and her social media account handles. Femi was one of the ones that night, and Dara regretted ever inviting her sister. Now, Dara decided to give them a chance after Femi convinced her that he did not have any ulterior motives and he truly was in love with her. Giving them a chance was not synonymous to get married. The girls had a couple of rough patches. Now it was awkward for Dara seeing her not so little sister with a playboy. Femi is a playboy who would sleep with anything in skirt. Dara did not want another awkward couple of weeks with her sister. So she looked forward to her sister relocating to Liverpool, and even better, they would be living in a flat. Dara did not let anger and malice creep in. She decided to look out for her sister at the same time. The following morning, Dara put a call through to her sister and they were back to gossiping again. They made up and Anu was ready for her relocation to Liverpool and she had her bags all packed. Dara was nothing like Anu in terms of organization and planning. While Anu was done packing her bags, exactly 1 week trip, Dara, on the other hand, forgot her toiletries, she forgot her protein shakes, and she forgot everything in Nigeria. Anyways, I love you so much, Sissy, and thank you for looking out for me. Sorry if I sounded disrespectful. I did not mean to be that way. And Hasia responded, "It's alright, babes. You are my only sibling, apparently. That is why I feel the need to always protect you. I am sorry too." Made up, and Dara was happy again. Dara decided to volunteer for a law charity once every week. Her studies and scholarship conditions did not allow her to engage in full-time work. So she decided to at a retirement home. She would not go to work. She now works with people who were mostly retired. "May I have a copy of your proof of address, a proof of your identity, and your residence permit, please?" Dara soon finished her shift at the charity shop. The girls had not been apart since Dara returned home. Anu was walking among the crowd and she started to shout, "Princess, princess!" Dara called to her sister, "Come this way." Anu was wearing a black jogger, a matching hoodie set, and a pair of blue shoes. She never missed an opportunity to look good. Anu was 5 feet and 9 inches tall, had a light olive skin, and she always wore neatly made pleats. Anu smelled so nice, and Dara said to herself, "How come I never smelled this good?" Dara thought to herself as she gave her sister a warm embrace. At that point, Anu's face was partly buried in Dara's full afro hair. Dara was a replica of their mom. She was not tall as Anu, but she was somewhat above average height. Dara was light-skinned, her hair was full, very fine texture. From the eastern part of Nigeria. She was named Hadiza by her grandmother. Hadiza was born royalty and she grew up with a lot of privilege. However, Hadiza raised her daughters in a different manner. She did not let them have their ways always because they were born with a silver spoon. She taught them true values and how to always keep in touch with their human sides. Both girls did not give Hadiza a hard time in terms of keeping up to the house rules and family traditions. They took their academics seriously, and Hadiza made it a point to reward any academic achievement, no matter how small it may seem. Last summer, the girls and their mom were at Morocco, where they stayed at a luxury 5-star suite. Their dad did not travel with them a lot, as he always had a tough schedule at work. The girls saw how their mother treated people with respect. She had regards for people, irrespective of who they are. She did not believe in social class and subjugation. Hadiza was an embodiment of manners, ethics, intelligence, humility, hard work. She was her daughter's role models. Even as little girls, they always wanted to be like their mommy. Anyways, their mom always says, thank you very much, and yes please. So, the girls got on the bus, and it was time for Dara to show Anu around. Anu soon takes out her journal, and she begins to write. You would never change, Dara teased Anu, who seized every opportunity to journal. Who doesn't like me just as I am? How come you're writing a journal now? Dara teased her sister. Is this because the road to your new flat is boring? And her sister said, our flat, you mean? Anyways, there was a more silence, and Dara's mind had wandered off this time. She was thinking about Femi's situation. She could not pretend to Anu that she did not have any concerns about her fiancé. Sister Dara, you know I was only right. I trust you got us a good place to live. Anu said as she keeps writing. Put it back, you don't have to write, Anu said as she hands a pack of mints to her sister. I want to hear all right. How many boys were chasing you on the flight and even at the airport? Oh well, since you want to hear about the boys or men, I will tell you the list is long. Anu took a sip of water from the bottle and she went on to narrate her experience to her sister. They were so engrossed in their conversation that they almost missed their stop. Once they got to their flat, Dad showed Anu around the flat. She also showed Anu the room heater and how the thermostat worked. Anu made her way to the bathroom after her sister ran her a hot bath alongside some lit scented candles. Anu enjoyed a long soak in the bath and she was ready for dinner. Dara had prepared Anu's best meal, which was fresh turkey stew and white rice. Anu also went the extra mile by making her sister some fried plantains. Both girls watched some Nollywood movies and ate their food. Now, Anu wanted to listen to her sister's love life, or at least her sex life. What was happening anyways? Besides, it has been over 1 year since her fiancé jilted her and ran away with another woman. Dara never really recovered from the shock of losing her then lover. Dara was kind, hardworking, she had a beautiful heart, but she always attracted the wrong kind of men. Or maybe the wrong kind of men always attracted her. The girls had always been there for each other. Their kind of bond could not be explained. Dara's heartbreak was a very difficult blow for Anu. Her fun-loving sister had suddenly started going back into a shell. Dara stopped attending social functions because she was heartbroken. She stopped attending parties after she got dumped. She did not want to talk about it. In fact, she never spoke about it. Anu really hoped that relocating to England might help her sister a little. For the rest of that evening, Dara narrates her experience with men at the airport and even about the flight. But I did not even listen to them, she said, when I have a sweet boy like Femi. Once the name Femi was mentioned, Dara's mood changed once again. Well, it was an evening and it was helpful that both girls were literally tired, so they slept. The next morning, it was Anu's turn to visit the post office to get her residence permit. Both girls visited the post office. They were kept in cold weather. The bus finally came and they left. As soon as they got to the post office, Dara decides to start shopping while Anu goes for her BRP. A few moments later, Anu comes out so disappointed. The BRP was not ready. She had to come back in 3 working days. Not to worry, I don't think you would miss out on a thing. Even without your residence permit, you could still do other things. Dara suggested that they visited the mall and assured her sister that the permit would be out sooner than expected. On one of those holidays, they were visiting Singapore. Anu used their mom's credit card to purchase some luxury skincare products. She got a firm telling off from her. She never made such mistakes again. After they had picked up some knee-high boots, jumpers, and footwears, the girls made their way to a major fast food outlet. Soon their phone rings and it was their mother. "Good afternoon, mommy," said, while bowing slightly in respect as though she was in mom's presence. "How are you girls doing?" Dara mentioned that she was going to pick up her residence permit. Did she get it? Mom quizzes her residence permit. Dara explains the situation to their mother and passed the phone to Anu. "Mommy, good afternoon," Anu greeted her mother while she attempts to sip from the empty cup. "How are you? Sorry to hear about your residence permit. I guess it will be ready soon enough." "Thank you, ma," Anu responded. "Mommy, can we call you back once we get home?" Anu wanted to concentrate on her food. Dara takes the phone, said she will speak to their mom later. Now, chapter 4. Dara, "Put me on speakerphone, let me speak with you girls." Whenever their mom said this, the girls knew they were in trouble. "Listen very carefully. Put yourself together for what I am about to tell you." Anu was worried, and in an abrupt manner and in a tense voice, she demanded from their mom, "Mom, what is going on? Where is Dad? Are you guys having a divorce?" Anu had always been a daddy's girl, and she was not having my mom's opening speech this time. "Your father was kidnapped in the early hours of this morning. They called his general manager and demanded for a ransom already." "Mom, I am sorry. This is all so scary, like a dream." Dara begins to sob. Anu was crying already. "Ada, do not cry. I called earlier this morning to let you girls know, but you were busy. I did not want to spoil your night." Both girls have always known their mother to display strength, but the strength which they perceived over the phone was unbelievable. The girls said goodnight to their mom and they called it an evening. The next morning, Dara sent an email to her course leader, letting him know that her dad had been kidnapped. He needed the rest of the week off. Also, Anu emailed the university in Liverpool, informing them that she would not be coming to enroll until next week. It was a very long, sad morning. At about 11 a.m., their mom was back from the police station where she went to make a report. She had received a call from the kidnappers. In addition to the $1 million they had requested, their mom was also asked to pay $50,000. They even asked me not to inform the police or anyone at all. "So what are we going to do now?" Dara asked tearfully. Their mom responded, "Ada, not we. All I need from you girls is to come out in flying colors in your academic faces. Look after yourself and always look up to God." Once the girls were off the phone with their mom, Femi was on the phone with Anu. The lovebirds had not spoken much since Anu came to Liverpool. She was too excited to see her sister and did not speak with her boyfriend a lot. Femi, on the other hand, he was on a business trip, so he was not mad at her for not taking his call often enough. Prior to leaving Nigeria, the lovebirds were on the phone every other hour. "Liverpool has changed you, right?" Femi teased his girlfriend. "I am sorry, my love. It's been a crazy couple of days. Moreover, my dad was kidnapped this morning," Anu responded. Anu was now in her bedroom, and Femi responded, "Oh dear, I am so sorry to hear about this baby. I wish I could do anything to help. Have the kidnappers called yet? My uncle is the superintendent of police. I think he might be able to help you." Femi also assured Anu that he would visit her mom to see if she needed any assistance. Soon enough, Femi distracted Anu, and he told her that he would be visiting Liverpool in a couple of weeks. Anu could not wait to see her boyfriend again. Femi was a perfect gentleman. He was nothing like Dara said he was. He was always opening the doors for Anu. He spoiled her best gift. He took her out on the best dates as well, to some of the finest places in the country. So, Dara was having some protein shake that evening and could not be bothered cooking. Anu was smiling and in a much better mood. "That was Femi," she said. Anu said in a better mood, Dara was not interested in that line of conversation. She was only thinking about her father and how he fared in the kidnappers. She was not about love talks. Dara said to Anu while carrying a straight face, "Just, that's nice of him." Anu was not having it that her sister did not approve of her boyfriend. She tries to convince her sister Femi was the right man for her, and she spoke. "Femi loves me and I love you too. Please, Sisi, give him a chance." And her sister responded, "I do not have anything against your love life or whomever you choose to share your life with. Just be careful and don't just lose yourself for Femi. Cool with him, and I just have this bad feeling about him." Once it was time, both girls put a call through to their mom to see how she had gone with the police. Their mom had put together her part of the ransom and she was waiting for the coppers to call her. Now, the mom said, "I kept putting pressure on the company to come up with their part of the ransom, but they did not. I will ask you to help with the ransom. I do not want to lose my husband." Once again, she encouraged both girls to look out for each other. Once their mom hung up, Dara began her bedtime routine. It was her first time volunteering for it. The following morning, once Dara was in the bathroom to begin her skincare routine, her baby sister came into the bedroom to chat with her. So, her baby sister came into the bedroom to chat with her. Sorry guys, I just lost the plot. Now I'm on chapter 6, but I managed to go back to chapter 4. Okay, now chapter 5. Sorry about that. As Dara walked down King Street, she ran into her classmates. They seemed to be headed for the same direction. "Do you live nearby?" Dara's classmate asked. "Yeah, I live just off the bottom of the street." Dara replied with a big smile on her face. It was one of the new friends she had made on her first day at the university. "You don't mean it, I live with too." Both girls chatted and walked down the road together. "What are you doing tonight? Would you like to hang out?" Dara's classmate was inviting her to a party for that weekend. "I would have come, but I can't come now as I have a family situation." Dara teased her classmate. Anyways, they were headed for the same property. "Wow, so you just live next door? How come I have never seen you before?" asked her classmate. "I stay at number 45 with my baby sister." She thanks her classmate for the invite. Once Dara got home, she asked her sister, "What have you been up to, babes?" And her sister responded, "I have been making food. I also spoke with mom and Femi, and that's pretty much it." Dara seemed disappointed that she had been waiting for their mom's call all day. "I was nervous after you left. I did not heed to her instruction." So Anu explained to her disappointed sister. So the police had no major link or information. Their dad was still missing. Their dad was still in the kidnappers' den. The girls were mapping out plans for the rest of the week. Anu had completed her enrollment at the university in Liverpool, but she had to request to be off for that week due to her dad's kidnap. It's been 7 days since the kidnap, and there seemed to be no light at the end of the tunnel. Anu's phone rang and it was mommy calling. "Hello mom, good morning. Any news about dad?" Anu's mom's response informed them that their dad was back. "How?" both girls chorused. Their mom explained that their dad was escorted home by men of the Nigerian police force. So she further gave the girls a stern warning. And she said, "It is a lie, and the police would like our discretion as a family member. So, girls, no social media, no WhatsApp status." She also added that their dad was currently being seen by the family doctor. Once their mother was off the phone, both girls were happy. They screamed for joy. "Thank God daddy is back," Dara said. "Thank God indeed." The next day, the girls arrived at the university campus in good time for their... "Hi, my name is Anu. I am a Nigerian." Anu introduced herself to her new classmate. She had been on the campus only 2 days because of her father's kidnap. Once the lecture was over, Anu put a call through to her boyfriend Femi. Femi was scheduled to arrive Liverpool that weekend. The lovebirds agreed. that Femi should visit Liverpool so they could create memories together. Dara agreed that Femi could stay in their rented apartment off King Street. It was not a difficult conversation for the sisters. Femi picked up Anu's call and he said, "Hello, babe. How is my princess doing today?" And Anu replied, and she was blushing. She said in Yoruba language, "Femi," it meant my lover. Even though Anu's control of Yoruba language was below average, she managed the art of creating oral to her lover. She knew how to massage her boyfriend's ego. The lovebird spoke until it was time for Anu's next class. Dara, on the other hand, was hanging out with her friends. They had over 2 hours break between their second lectures. "Oh yeah, about the party. Is the invitation valid?" She still wants to attend the party. "Of course you can," Mame responded with so much delight in her voice. Then Anne-Marie shouted, "Hell yeah, I bet you are excited." They had a good laugh and before they headed to their favorite spot. When Anu was done with her class, she put a call through to her father. Her father explained his ordeal of the kidnappers, and he hoped that nothing of such nature ever happened to family members or acquaintances. Daddy had to get off the phone to get for the police station. He was meant to be meeting with the police inspector, who happened to be his friend in secondary school days. After the call, Anu sat for another half hour waiting for her sister. Both girls went up to Anu's residence permit, and once they were done picking up the permit, they went shopping for a party outfit for the party they were invited for on that weekend. Anu was excited, planning for her fiancé's arrival, and she did not want to attend the party. "That's fine, Dara. I have some coursework to do anyways." And that was the end of the conversation. At the clothes store, Dara tried out a couple of outfits and she asked for her sister's opinion on how she looked. And her sister said, "It's not like you listen to me anyways, so you asking me." Anu smiles and she goes on to browse the lingerie rack. She picked out some lingerie, some loungewears, and some diffusers for their home. "It's about to go down," Dara said and teases her sister as she spots the red lingerie set her sister was holding. "What do you think about this, Dara?" Anu asked her sister, almost as if she was seeking validation to get frisky with Femi. "It's gorgeous, princess. You know well that everything looks good on you," Dara replied. Dara always spoke positively to her sister. She never gave Anu a reason to doubt herself. Her words were always kind. She always used pretty words and she was judicious in her compliments to her sister. Chapter 6, The Hangover. So, they decided to have their dinner at an Indian restaurant before returning home. Dara had biryani, while Anu had some curry chicken and coconut fried rice. Both girls had got sweet tooth, so they settled for a Maggi as their dessert. It was a fun evening for the girls. They worried for Dad's safety. They were no longer worried about his safety, but they were worried about his health. And they were also happy that their parents were together. "I wonder how Daddy even got out of the kidnappers' den." Dara smiled and laughed. The girls were already on their third glasses of red wine and they were getting tipsy. And they began to joke. "Maybe Daddy pulled a prison break." Anu responded and also laughed. It had been a while that the girls had much fun. After Anu started to date Femi, there was a strain on their relationship. The girls were not hanging out much anymore. Now, Dara said to her sis, Anu said to her boyfriend, "Don't worry, my sister would love you. She would come around. She will come to understand you." She kept reassuring her boyfriend that the love they shared was thicker than blood. And Femi could not believe his ears, and he knew that Anu loved him so much. Now, at about 4 o'clock in the morning, Anu could hear her retch so badly. She had been woken up by a full bladder, and she struggled to sleep when she heard her sister retching. Anu made haste for her sister's room, and she had both hands up. Anu knocks on the door. Dara in. She did not wait for Dara's response. She just turns the door handle and walks in. Dara was sitting on the bathroom floor. She was hungover, she was vomiting, and she was sick all over the place. And Dara said, I feel hot and cold at the same time. Dara also said, while her body was shivering, she said, could you please put a blanket over me? After Dara did this for her, she said, please help me into my bed, rest for a bit. This time around, Dara attempts to crawl back to her bed, and she was crawling like a 6-month-old baby. Anu was walking behind her. She couldn't help but laugh at her sister. Anyways, Dara took care of her sister, cleaned the bathroom, and she shut bathroom windows. Anu was lucky it was her day off school, so she stayed home to look after her sister. Now, after Dara slept all day on the sofa, Anu slept once and she got a long, lovey-dovey call from her boyfriend Femi. Femi sent Anu a message. He said he is coming to Liverpool to visit Anu. Now, Anu had never been in her life because her boyfriend was coming to visit her. So she shared the good news with her sister. Sister, it's happening. Femi is coming to Liverpool. She was beaming with so much happiness. Dara, who was just recovering from the way she was over, was just smiling at her sister. She was happy to see Anu happy, but she was also afraid to see her sister hurt by Femi or heartbroken. Her paranoia about men and relationships only became worse after her ex-fiancé dumped her. Come on then, let's get this lounge sorted before he gets here. Dara helps her sister fix the house. The next day, Anu started to dial Femi's number at 10 o'clock at night. It had been 10 hours since Femi said he was checking in. Dara called him on voice call. She called Femi on WhatsApp. She called Instagram. She even called Femi on Facebook. Femi seemed to be far away from his phone. He didn't pick up the call. His phone was on silent mode. Now, Femi sends a message at 10:40 at night and he's, babe, I will call you soon. I'm very busy. I can't talk right now. I love you so much. Anu was very happy and she heads for Dara's room to inform her sister. And her sister was like, thank God though, because I don't know what I would have done if this boy refused to come. Now, you should have your rest now, princess, so you can look fresh and rested for your king tomorrow. Now, 4 o'clock in the morning, Dara goes to wake her sister up. Her sister can get ready for the airport. Now, Femi's flight from Lagos to Heathrow Airport was scheduled to land at 7 in the morning. The lovebirds planned to get on the train to Liverpool from London. Anu made it just train and she starts to speak with her sister over the phone. And she pleads Dara to cover up for her. Remember that mommy and daddy are not aware that Femi is coming to Liverpool. Please help me cover up if they ask of me. You can tell them that I have classes in school today. Their parents did not know that Femi was visiting Liverpool, let alone stay at his daughter's house for 2 weeks. It was Femi's annual leave and he decided to spend it all with his heartthrob. It's fine, princess, just trust me. Dara assures Anu that her boyfriend was coming. As Anu arrives Heathrow via London Tube, she walks towards the arrival. She was eager to see her boyfriend. Once she was standing there waiting for Femi, her sister calls her. Hello, princess. How was your journey from Victoria to Terminal 5? Did you write in your journal? Then Dara suddenly realized that her sister was asking the wrong question. And she said, tell me, are you guys together already? How is Femi? Tired, I guess. And her sister responded, I have not seen Femi. I don't think he's on the flight, Dara said in a shaky voice. And this time she was all teary. Dara recognized the voice and she tries to calm her sister. Don't cry, Anu, she said. Try to call his phone. I know you must have tried. It's a dumb question, really. Just wait a moment. I am sure he would turn up. I was now crying, sat on an isolated bench, away from the exit. I would just sit here and wait for him. I am here already. I can't turn back now. Dara stays on the phone with her sister, but Femi never shows up at Heathrow Airport in London. Oh my God, sis, is Femi calling me? I'll call you right back. As Anu walks towards the gentleman, it wasn't Femi. It was just someone that looks like Femi. And she was like, God, Ella, part 1, which means an embarrassing, awkward moment, which you wish you could turn back the hands of time, or you could open the ground, or the ground should just open and swallow you. Anu, in her disappointment, keeps walking towards the arrival in the hope that her boyfriend will show up. Now, it has been 3 hours since the last flight from Lagos landed in Heathrow. Femi had not shown up. Dara advised her sister, just return to Liverpool, sis. I don't think he's coming. Femi's number was now completely turned off. He does not have an excuse, Anu thought to herself. It was beginning to shift from a place of fear to disappointment. Once Anu got off the train, Dara was standing there to receive her. The girls were always there for each other. Come here, poor child, Dara said. She gave Anu a hug. Anu was pleased to see her sister waiting for her at the train station. They got on a taxi, and it was a long, awkward drive back home. Back in their heart, Dara heats up some food. Now, Dara says to her sister, Mommy and Daddy called. And her sister was like, really? They called and you didn't let me know. And Dara responded to her sister, you were busy chasing your love, so I didn't tell you that Mommy and Daddy called. Now, the sister said, our dad has gone to the again. The mastermind of your dad's kidnap was arrested yesterday, and your dad has been asked to come identify the accused. Wow, that's a good one, Mom. So good on the Nigerian police. I am so happy with this development. Anu was so pleased. She did not understand why anyone, a nice man like her father, because she was a daddy's girl and she believed that her dad was the best dad in the world. When can we speak with Mom? This is great news. And their mom said you can speak to him once he comes back. Once their mom was off the phone, Anu tries to call her boyfriend Femi again. Femi did not pick up his call. It went in mail. Suddenly, it got disconnected. Now, chapter 8. Early the next morning, Dara went into the lounge, just like her other classmates, and their mom called. Early the next morning, Dara went into the lounge, and 2 other classmates had left, so it was just one left. The party was over. Good morning, princess, a boy said to Dara. He said in his Irish accent. He attempts to clear his throat at the same time. Dara was not surprised because he called her princess. Princess? Who said that I am princess? Dara turned around in surprise. It was Duncan. He was the last classmate standing. She wondered why he was still asleep after every other classmate had left. Anu sat on one of the sofas and chatted with Duncan for the rest of the morning. Now, Dara, about myself, that seems too broad. Ask me specific questions and I'll tell you something about myself. And Duncan was like, my pleasure. Ladies first. Dara said, I love cooking, I love reading, and I love traveling. Duncan said, I like camping, I like swimming, and I like hiking. Dara said, this is my 3rd degree, and Duncan said, this is my 2nd degree. Dara said, I am a Christian, and said, my parents are Roman Catholics, but I do not practice. Dara said, you mean to say Roman Catholics are different from Christians? Duncan laughed out loud. You lose. You were not supposed to ask me anything. You were only supposed to say one thing about yourself. They went on and on until 10 a.m. and Dara's parents called the line. Good morning, Mommy. Good morning, Daddy. Dara greeted her parents. She was excited and she excuses herself from Duncan. She goes into the bedroom to speak to her parents, and Anu was awake. Dara was still tidying up when her sister walks in, straight into the kitchen. How are you girls? Their father responded. We are fine, sir. Both girls chorused as usual. How is Mommy? Is she there? Dara asked. Yes, princess, I am here. Their mom answered in a very low tone. I was invited to the police yesterday. I believe that your mother must have told you. Is there anything you girls would like to tell me? Both girls were confused. I do not understand, Dad. There is nothing to tell you. And their dad said, Dara begins to wonder, what have we done? Was it because of the party? Now, Their parents said, "What do you girls know Femi?" It sounded like $1 million question at the moment. Dara replied, "Mom, he was my mate during uni days. He is now Anu's fiancé." And their mom was surprised. And she said, "Femi was the mastermind in the kidnap of their dad. Your father was able to speak Igbo language to one of the boys where he was held. After 24 hours of being there, your dad paid him some money and he helped your dad escape." So, guys, listening to this story, I have to go off this live now. I'm going to do a proper synopsis of this short story. So this is one of my short stories on Amazon, and I thought I would just do something different. Read it today. So this is all in a bid to get my 4,000 watch hours. That's why I keep coming live every day, trying out different, tactics. So thank you for joining my live. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe and turn on your notifications for when I come live again next time. Thank you so much for joining me, and see you next time.